Welcome everyone. All right, we're kicking off Holland. All right, we got Sceptile. We're gonna do all three of the starters. I did finish all three of them before recording, so I'm gonna be both recording the three of them at once, obviously in separate videos. If you are new here, welcome. This is a ROM hack. In short, everything is massively reworked. The vast majority of Pokemon, no, literally all Pokemon are buffed and changed in a lot of really interesting ways that you probably have never seen before in other hacks. And I've been putting in a lot of effort and thought into each individual Pokemon and the way that they would play. And there's 25 plus custom new abilities, 130 plus new moves. The vast majority of moves besides those new moves are also reworked to the point where they're basically new moves. Just tons of awesome stuff. The power levels in the hack are extremely high. All Pokemon are genuinely viable, which was the main goal, was to make all Pokemon genuinely cool, viable, and unique from one another. And I want to keep this intro relatively brief because I'm sure most of you who are listening to this probably already know what's going on. But just in case, it is a new generation, I may as well just quickly touch on that in the introduction. That's about it. All right. If you want to find out more information, you can first and foremost go to the description down below. There is a detailed link to all of these Google Sheet changes for yourself. You can look at everything. You can look at all the other Pokemon. You can go watch my other videos. You can check out all of these move changes. I have it all laid out super nice. I have all the custom new abilities laid out. All kinds of awesome stuff. You can check that out in the description below if you need to, or if you want to. I recommend that. You can also join my Discord server if that interests you as well. I'll talk more about that at the end probably. But that being said, let's get into it. All right, I don't want to waste too much time. So we got Sceptile. Super interesting changes here. Probably the most drastic of the three Holland starters, because honestly, the Holland starters were very good. To be fair, obviously, even good Pokemon in this hack still need buffs and changes and new tools to not only be more unique and fun and to stand out from one another, but also just to keep up with the general power levels in the hack. So yes, I've been taking careful measures to make sure that Pokemon of like the same type, for example, don't overlap with one another, or in general. So for example, in Sceptile's case, there's a Grass Dragon, and if I go to the list in my notes of other Grass Dragons, there was only one before. I'm pretty sure it was literally just Mega Sceptile up until Gen 8. But in this hack, there are 4 of them. So actually, sorry, there was a Lone Executor, excuse me. So there you go, Lone Executor, and it has 3 new ones, okay? Sceptile is one of those, and then the other 2 you will find eventually. That being said, yeah, pre-Mega Sceptile or base Sceptile was also a Dragon type. Reason being, there's no reason for it not to be Dragon. If Mega Sceptile can be Dragon, so can base Sceptile. There's nothing extra dragony about Mega Sceptile. It's not like he grows wings or anything crazy. He's just a giant reptile lizard in the jungle, so he's Dragon type. And that's just really awesome. It's a great offensive dual stab, and it gives him more resistances as well. Not to say that Grass Dragon is objectively a better typing than pure Grass, because in a lot of cases it isn't, but in this case it is, because he gets dual stab and he is an offensive Pokemon. So, yeah. So, excuse me, I have to go to this to see the resistances. I don't know them off the top of my head. You have 2 4x resistances to water and grass, and then you are also resistant to ground, and then you also 4x resist electric, excuse me. So you 4x resist water, electric, and grass, which is great. I mean, that's like 3 really common 4x resists. You have 1 2x resist to ground, which is also good, and then you are 4 times weak to ice, which a lot of amazing Pokemon are anyways. And then you have a couple of common weaknesses to poison, dragon, fairy, bug, flying, that kind of thing. But it's not the end of the world, all right? The main buff here is the incredible new abilities I've given them, as well as the overall stat increases. So first and foremost, these guys, let me actually zoom out a bit. That might help with like seeing all the changes in one spot. That kind of helps, yeah. Yeah, it helps a little bit. Also, you can always check these out for yourself in the description below and just see all these changes for yourself and examine them all as detailed as you would like for them to be. So yeah. Also, this kind of doesn't zoom out properly. There we go. All right, hopefully that's better. I probably shouldn't be doing that live. It's fine. I'll just leave it zoomed out on this corner. So yes, Grass Dragon, great dual stab, but most importantly, they are now physical attackers, or rather mixed attackers. That is a pretty obvious change in my opinion. Sceptile always should have been physically leaning, or at least mixed in my opinion. His whole thing is how he has these giant blades, and he specializes in close combat in the jungles. It literally says, without peer in jungle combat, the leaves that grow on his arms can slice down thick trees, and so therefore, mixed attacking is very obvious. With base Sceptile having 115, 105 offenses, and then Mega Sceptile having equal 145 and them both, and being incredibly fast. Also, Sceptile in general is a lot faster. You can always check out the speed tier guide down below, and you can see where all the Pokemon currently stack up against one another in terms of base speed. Obviously, there is boosting abilities and stuff that are important, but in terms of base speed, you can see where they stack up. Sceptile is very quick. You know, a couple of Pokemon are just slightly faster than it used to be, even if they're already fast, just to keep up to speed with all the power levels in the hack. But the most impressive thing, incredible abilities, okay? I gave base Sceptile, Grassy Surge, and a new ability in Ruthless. Ruthless essentially works like Sniper, so again, you can always check this out in the description below and check out all these unique new abilities and moves for yourself. But essentially what this does is it's Sniper, but I've reworked it to the point where it's an entirely new ability, and also I renamed it so more Pokemon can get it. Sceptile is known for, you know, slashing things and chopping shit down, and he has these giant blade arms and whatnot, so, you know, Ruthless fits very nicely. He has cut shit down. You know, it gives him Stab, Leaf Blade, and Dragon Claw, which is another main reason I chose to do part Dragon, was for dual Stab, Leaf Blade, and Dragon Claw, which are Ruthless moves, of course. When you slap a Scope Lens on your Sceptile, those moves will always crit, so those go from 70 base power to 105 base power, and then if you add on the Sniper, or in this case Ruthless boost, you essentially have a 158 base power move with no drawbacks, other than the fact that you have to hold a Scope Lens for it to be consistent, and the fact that they have 5 PP, which is very fair. Still incredible moves. You know, Leaf Blade, Dragon Claw is good neutral dual stab coverage, and then of course for actual coverage moves you have X Scissor, Laceration, Slash, Night Slash, and Cross Chop question mark. Let me see if I gave them Cross Chop. I'm pretty sure I did. Let's just confirm that though. Yes, I did. Oh, and I said Psycho Cut, I think. If I didn't, then there you go. So he has great coverage. All right, Bug, Steel, Dark, Psychic, and Fighting. Fighting being some of the best coverage he has with the dual stab, of course, because, you know, stuff like Steel resists your Dragon and Grass dual stab. So, yeah, you know, Psycho Cut might be good for poison types and whatnot. Night Slash is just solid coverage. X Scissor also. It's good coverage options all around. And then, of course, you also have a lot of moves that always crit. And those moves are even better in some cases because you actually don't even have to you don't even have to run Scope Lens for those moves to work properly. You can run any item and those moves will always crit. Sceptile has First Impression via TM, as many Pokemon in this hack do, and that's a great option. It's 60 base power, but it becomes 135 base power with the crit and with the Ruthless boost, which is really strong. Of course, Sceptile's already very fast, but it's still nice to have that as a reteachable TM option. He also has Finishing Blow, which is incredible. That becomes roughly 80 base power with the Ruthless boost, and that is great because he has 125 or 145 base speed, and you can use that to sweep. It comes from Stinger, so you can easily just kill something, pick it off with that. You know, it's a solid, strong move, 80 base power. Another good thing about Ruthless is it also ignores things like Intimidate and attack dropping moves such as Battle Cry, Charm, and many more. So that's a really great tool to have as well. Completely bypassing through Intimidate, also bypassing through stat boosting moves such as Iron Defense, Stockpile, and more. Always great to have for sure. You also have 2 other 100% crit rate moves. So you have First Impression, Finishing Blow. They also have Razor Wind. I think that fits given that they slash, you know, they have these blades. I think they might even learn it naturally, actually. Pretty sure they did. I'm like 80% sure they did. Let me check. They didn't. It still fits very nicely, but yes, they did. Here you go. It wasn't naturally, but it was by Egg move, which is just, you know, fine enough. So Razor Wind's there. That's very powerful now. Razor Wind plus Ruthless is essentially 270 base power, 100% accurate, has a 30% flinch rate. So that's great with Power Herb, or just in general, but mostly with Power Herb. You're getting an extremely powerful special flying option, and then you have Wicked Blow. And Stone Edge for other 100% crit rate moves. Those are both 80 base power moves that are 90% accurate and will always crit, essentially becoming 180 base power with Ruthless in mind. And a good thing in this hack, you also have Razor Leaf early game, by the way, but I guess you could technically run Razor Leaf until you get Leaf Blade at like 42 or 44, whatever, but you're probably just going to want like some other better physical grass move like Seed Bomb or Needle Bash or something. You know, but you could technically keep it if you really wanted to. I wouldn't after a certain point. Although, actually, never mind. I'm lying. I lied. You have Technician on the pre-forms. I forgot. Yeah, because I thought Technician was a really cool ability for them as well. But obviously, Grassy Surge and Ruthless are a lot better and also just fit him more. And so I figured, you know what, give the pre-evolutions Technician. I think it's a pretty cool like compromise to make. So Technician's great for them. I'll cover that later in the latter half of the video because it's not as important, but it's still really cool nonetheless. And yes, Grovyle is a lot stronger. The whole line as a whole is just a lot more physical, slightly frailer, especially because their special defense is weirdly high. And you know, I wanted to even it out, also just for base stat total reasons. So yes, they are a lot frailer, but but they are a lot stronger physically and also slightly faster and slightly have more HP, and it's just very solid good stat buffs all around, of course with the abilities. And in this hack, you do have access to infinite use ability capsules and instant EV training. So what you can do is you see you have 115, 105 offenses, or 145 in both for the Mega, and also 95, 85 on Grovile. You can easily just swap between running a special or physical set depending on the occasion. Your physical coverage is significantly better than your special coverage, but you still have some things that are very good, especially such as Earth Power, Razor Wind, Hidden Power, Natural Gift, which becomes any type in the game with 110 base power. You have Technician, Air Cutter on Grovile. You also have Air Slash. It's not bad at all. You have some solid mix. You can also take advantage of mix sets very nicely. And you have very strong stab moves such as Seed Flare and Chloroblast and Leaf Storm. Also like Draco Meteor via Tutor, all that kind of great stuff. Focus Blast, etc. Of course, your physical coverage is almost objectively better. I'm pretty sure every special move you get a physical equivalent of. The only one, actually no, even with flying you get acrobatics. So yes, your physical coverage is overall superior, but still nice to have that choice. So that's really important with, the point is, with the access to those EV training items and the ability capsules, you can easily switch between running Ruthless or Grassy Surge, because there's a lot of occasions where Grassy Surge is much more powerful than Ruthless, because, for example, Specs or Band or Life Orb Grassy Surge is stronger than Ruthless overall, depending on the move you're using, because Ruthless requires the scope lens to be consistent unless you're running stuff like First Impression, Finishing Blow, Wicked Blow, etc. So Grass Surge is very powerful, although it only affects your grass stab, so that's kind of the the pick and choose there. The good thing about their moves is that they actually don't really clash too much, so you can just run Ruthless moves such as Leaf Blade and Dragon Claw and Cross Chop, and then switch to Grassy Surge if you need that special mix move and teach it, via TM or Tutor, or level up if you get it eventually. That kind of stuff is really nice, that you can do those. Your abilities don't clash very much in terms of synergy. So yeah, two incredibly powerful abilities. Obviously, with 115, 105 offenses and the 50% boost from both these abilities, he's very strong, and he's very fast with 125 speed, so that's just a great offensive mon. And as for Mega Sceptile, it is even stronger, of course, because it's the Mega. However, there are a lot of occasions where base Sceptile is actually stronger. First and foremost, base Sceptile has Ruthless, while Mega Sceptile does not. So, for example, if you're fighting an Intimidate opponent and they are, you're running physical sets, then you can run Ruthless. Meanwhile, Mega Sceptile actually cannot run Scope Lens either, so you can't even run like a non-Ruthless Scope Lens set because you have to use a Mega Stone. However, Mega Sceptile makes up for that for being much faster and having incredibly powerful abilities in its own right. So one of its new abilities is called Instinct, which comes from Ruthless. So essentially the way I've balanced Mega Sceptile's abilities is that pre-Mega has Grassy Surge, which then can be abused by Mega Sceptile with Solar Power, and that is insanely strong. Solar Power, Grassy Surge, Solar Beam is like a absolute fucking nuke. It's not even funny. With 145 special attack and 145 speed, it's an extremely powerful attack. You can also use stuff like Weather Ball and Earth Power and Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, etc. That's an amazing set right there. You also have Growth, which I forgot to give them. Oopsies. Let's just throw that on there real quick. I'll just put it on it. I don't know, Evolution, I guess, because you already have Nasty Plot and Swords in, so it's better just to have that later on. I could even do it later, but yeah, actually 48. No, that's Finishing Blow, never mind. Yeah, Evolution is fine. It's also kind of cute because he's like evolving, so he's growing, I guess. Let's just throw that on there. Excuse me, everybody, I shouldn't be doing this live, but I don't want to forget. What was I going to look at again? Growth, yes. What the fuck just happened? Oh my god, really? Okay, let's just Needle Bash at 34, Roho 36, there we go. So you get that before you evolve. Alright, and let's just put that in the files real quick. I'm sorry for the pause, everybody, I just do not want to forget to do this otherwise, because I probably will. 36 can be growth. Oh, what the fuck? Did I not? I didn't do his moves in game. Oh my god, I didn't do Sceptile's moves in game at all. Oh, good thing I fucking checked. Jesus. Well, I'll do it after the video. I'll just quickly jot those all down. I did it for Blaziken, I know that, right? Yeah, no, I did it for Blaziken. Oh, I remember why. It's because I had to leave. Yeah, happens sometimes. Good thing I caught that. So I'll get back to topic on the video, and I'll just do that after the video is over. Yeah, you are really, really powerful. Okay, Grassy Surge into Solar Power. I mean, that's really strong. Of course, you are taking, I believe it's 1/8 of your HP per turn. But, even without growth, just having that Solar Power, Solar Beam with the Grassy Surge boost is so strong. it's really fucking powerful, okay? And then of course you do weather ball and power coverage. It's a great set, okay? Solar power, and of course otherwise you can just use grassy surge on Mega Sceptile with physical sets and just not care about having the ability solar power. It can just be useless because grassy surge is great for Mega while Ruthless is virtually useless for Mega. If that makes sense. I hope that made sense. And then instinct, of course, so to make up for the fact that Ruthless is not useful for the Mega Sceptile, in the sense that Grassy Surge can be abused by the Mega, but Ruthless cannot. Instinct is incredible. Instinct essentially is from download, okay? So what that does is when you switch your Mega Sceptile in, or as soon as you Mega... Actually, that's a good question. If you gain the ability download, or in this case instinct, would you get the boost? I could totally test that if I wanted to. I have no clue if you Mega and you get the boost. So here's what I'll say. If you don't get the boost when you Mega, it's still a really good ability, but it's not as great. Not nearly as great. If you get the boost when you Mega and gain Instinct, I have a feeling you will get the boost, but I'm not positive. It could actually not trigger. I should test that in game, but I am not... Actually, I think I could test it with Kangaskhan because I'm pretty sure Kangaskhan has Instinct in the files in the current patch of Citra. Not Patra, but like Patra. What the hell am I saying? Not the current version. I'll check it after the video. Okay, I will check that after the video. I might pin a comment or something if I remember to do that, or somebody else can check it out. But point is, if it does trigger as soon as you Mega Evolve, that is incredibly powerful, and that's what I intended. Is for it to get a 50% boost to either attack or special attack, and you can control which boost you get, especially because you're a Mega. You can actually wait to Mega Evolve until, like, for example, you can abuse Ruthless sets with like crit moves, such as like 100% crit moves, of course, like First Impression, for example, and then you can Mega Evolve and click like Finishing Blow or something, and then you can also guarantee that you get that attack or special attack boost on whatever is in front of you. So that's a really, really cool option for sure. Really, really cool for sure. I'm repeating myself a lot, but that's just a really powerful move option. Okay, Instinct, 145 offenses, 145 speed. It's just really strong. And that makes up for not being able to hold an item. It's not the most powerful thing in the world. There's tons of stronger Pokemon in this deck, but it is still a very fast and strong Pokemon. Great coverage moves. Great abilities against Solar Power is incredible. Grassy Surge is incredible. What else is there to cover? A couple other move options I can talk about, some utility stuff. Yes, they did lose Lightning Rod because they already 4 times resist Electric. And yeah, I know I've been the person to say, oh, even if you resist it, still get the immunity, and it is. But in this case, there's a billion other abilities that fit better and also are stronger. And you also 4 times resist, which is kind of like, all right, come on now. Not to mention, I thought Lightning Rod was kind of dumb on it anyways. Like, I understand it's the tail and it attracts stuff, but yeah. And yes, I did consider a generator, but there is another grass dragon type with a generator that's coming up eventually, so stay tuned for that. And obviously Mega Sceptile fits much better to be the purely offensive, just fast, strong glass cannon, essentially. It also, and like I said at the beginning of the video, the other 2 were very good Pokemon already. Of course, they are still buffed, but in Sceptile's case, like, he really needed a lot because he was by far the worst of the 3. Even with the Mega was good, don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of So I really like the way that he turned out. He's also my favorite of the 3. I honestly do like all... I'm not a huge fan of Blaziken, but I like Sceptile and Swampert a lot. But yeah, back on topic. Sorry, this is not an opinion video. This is a coverage video. So yes, Swords Dance, Nazi Plot, Bulk Up for setup. Growth in Solar Power with Solar Power sets is great. What else is there? Great coverage moves. Okay, I already covered all the Ruthless moves. You have Night Slash, Laceration, Cross Chop, etc. You also have great physical coverage like Earthquake, Megaton Kick, Stomping Tantrum, Bulldoze, Seismic Fist, Earth Power, Wild Charge, Thunder Punch, Play Rough, which I've been giving them pretty much all the starters. I've been very generous with what learns Play Rough because, I mean, it's pretty, like, simple move concept. I think a lot of things can be stretched to get it as good coverage. Also, because Fairy is a pretty limited coverage move in terms of real games, so I think it's cool to get more things Fairy moves. That's a great team. Those are all very powerful recoil moves. Takedown, Play Rough, and Wild Charge are 110 base power recoil moves. You can check out all the buffs and changes to moves yourself in the description because there's a lot of them, and I would not want to waste too much time going over every single individual one. But you have utility like Parting Shot, U-Turn. Those are also great with Instinct on Mega Sceptile. Really, really great actually. So you can really take advantage of that. There's tons of awesome coverage. I'm not going to waste time covering all this, but you got Close Combat, Focus Blast, Power Whip, Stone Edge. All these moves are also a lot more accurate and stronger. So like, yeah, Focus Blast, that kind of stuff is more accurate. Stone Edge, Power Whip, they're all more accurate and stronger. Again, check that out in the description. You have Grass Whistle, which will essentially always be sleeping for 1 turn. Technically, it's 2 turns, but Mega Sceptile is so fast that most of the time you're going to be outspeeding them, and you're only getting 1 full turn of setup. For example, you grass whistle them, they fall asleep. It's 80% accurate, so you have a decent chance to hit it. They fall asleep. You click Swords Dance or Nasty Plot or whatever other move you want to click, and then you kill them, because on that third turn they're going to wake up, guaranteed. Or you can run bulk up once, bulk up again on the turn they're supposed to wake up, and then when they wake up you'll be +2 defense, so that's a nice little advantage there. Again, you can also just kill them before they wake up because you are faster than them, so this is not as much of a downside as I used to say in some other videos. I would be like, oh, you only get 1 turn, but in reality you're still getting 2 turns. It's just different because of the way turns work. Yeah, tons of great setup, tons of great coverage, tons of awesome, powerful stab options. Lastly, I'll talk about the early game stuff with Technician. So you do have dual stab priority with Seed Shot and Leaf Flurry. You also have Draco Jet via Tutor, which is not stab yet, but still a good Technician move. Bullet Seed, but add as an accident. That should not be that early. Holy shit. Good thing I caught that. God damn, that's way too early for fucking Technician Bullet Seed. I will just put something else in there, I guess. I don't know. Fury Cutter? No, doesn't fit yet. Breaking Swipe? Sure. Sure, why not? Technician Bullet Seed needs to be like really late. That should not be that early. Like fucking, I don't even know, 30. Here's what I'll do. Hold on. False Strike goes at 29. Needle Bash can go at 30. A Slash goes at 31. Needle Bash goes at 33. Growth is on evolution, so I can ignore the fucking uneven number. And then Bash can be at 35. Bullet Seed can be at 33. There we go. Bullet Seed could be 33. That's pretty early already for a Technician Bullet Seed in most cases in attack, but it's balanced. Yeah, that's a lot less stupid. Did I fuck that up somehow? No, I just have an extra line in there. Oh, come on. Sorry, everybody. I should not be doing this live. Just delete that real quick. Here we go. And I will be logging those after the video is done. So we're basically done anyways. I just want to talk about Technician stuff for the pre-evolutions, and I do think it fits pretty well as an ability. Chico's, faster, stronger. Groval's a lot stronger, a lot faster. Should not be breaking swipes, and also breaking swipe here should not be there anymore. So I can delete that. Put Air Cutter there. Put Pursuit at 19. Screech at 21. Drop Kick at 23. Air Slash 25. Ball Strike at 28. Slash at 30. Bullet Seed at 33. Sure, that's better. Sure, who cares, man? So yeah, again, these are a lot of new moves that I don't want to waste too much time covering. You can check them all in the description. But for Technician, you have Dual Step Priority, Seed Shot, Leaf Flurry, also Swift and Quick Attack if you really wanted. You have Bulldoze and Rock Tomb. You have Low Kick technically, and also Grass Knot technically, which can be Technician boosted. Knockoff is always Technician boosted now, being 60 base power. Power Punch is Technician boosted. Also, there is a detailed Technician guide that I forgot to add these guys to. Hold on. I did create a lot of detailed guides to a lot of these abilities that have like moves that are buffed or changed for them. So you can actually like click the cell now and go to all of them, not just the new abilities, but like Hustle, Technician, Sheer Force, No Guard, which we'll get into in the next video. And yeah, it's just really cool. So that hopefully helps people out. Being able to see all that stuff in one place hopefully is nice. Make that green. Let me actually zoom back in. I think we're done here anyways almost, so zoom back in. I got to crop this again. Ugh. Okay, we're basically done anyways. I'm sorry, everybody. It's a longer video. Hopefully you guys don't mind that. Just put that there. I think we're done, honestly. Mega Drain, Razor Leaf are very powerful. Those are both 90 base power. Mega Drain heals you by 75% HP, which is great for special sets. Fury Cutter is technically Sheer Force boosted. Air Cutter, again, is Sheer Force boost. Excuse me, Technician boosted. Excuse me, misspoke. That's about it. False Strike is technically Sheer Force boost. Excuse me, Technician. God, Technician boosted, but you're not really using False Strike for Technician sets. You're using it more for the attack boost and the accuracy boost. Although you totally could actually and just kill them with something else. If you really love Grovyle, you can actually not evolve it. If you really don't want to use Sceptile for some reason, you love Grovyle. I know a lot of people love Grovyle. You could totally use it. He's not that strong, but 115 speed, 95 attack, 85 special attack with like Technician Bullet Seed, Technician Finishing Blow, that kind of stuff. It's not terrible. You could totally use it if you wanted, but it's not intended. It's not a Pokemon that is designed with a Violite in mind. Not to mention you wouldn't run a Violite on it. You'd probably just want to run a different item, and switch your items around for each trainer battle. That goes for all Pokemon in this deck. You know, one fight you might want Assault Vest even though it's frail, you still might need to take a hit that you otherwise wouldn't take. Another hit you might want to run Sash. Another battle you might want to run, you know, fucking Yachi Berry. Another fight you might want to run Kova Berry, you know, to live a specific attack that you can, like for example, oh crap, Pidgeot in front of me, it's gonna click Air Slash on me, oh no. Okay, you run Kova Berry and then you Thunder Punch them or Box Slide them or whatever, you know, that kind of deal. Yeah, I think that's honestly about it. I think I covered everything. Great stab options. You can check out all of the dragon buffs in the description below as well. There's tons of strong dragon moves now. Also, all moves in general are just buffed and a lot stronger for the most part, so you can check all that out in the description. I think I'm going to leave it off here for the sake of time, and I think I covered everything. I don't want to repeat myself too much, so yeah, thank you so much for listening, everybody. I hope this was a fun way to kick off the region, or the generation rather. I'm pretty hyped for Hoenn. There's a lot of cool shit coming ahead, and Sceptile is the most interesting of the three in my opinion in terms of buffs. Not that the other two are boring, but they were already good, so it's not as interesting as seeing something totally reworked in Sceptile's case. So yeah, hopefully Sceptile lovers out there are pleased. I like Sceptile. I'm not a lover of Sceptile, but you know, he's a cool fucking Pokemon. I like him in the upper tier of starters, in my opinion. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks, everyone. Bye.